Bobby in bronze.
On your side. This is ABC News Channel 27 at 11. The news starts now.
Good evening, I'm Robert Burns.
And I'm Lenita Williams, in for Amy Basista. In tonight's top story, the State Emergency Operations Center is up and running again as the threat of Jeanne moves closer to Florida. The EOC is responsible for preparing the state for any major disaster, and during this hurricane season, they've been especially busy. The center is responsible for nearly all coordination of relief and response in a disaster and has the resources to do so.
Well, we bring everybody to the table, and they're here to use their subject matter expertise to help us solve a mission.
The EOC is prepared to respond to, of course, hurricanes, but it also handles special events like the Orange Bowl, other natural disasters like sinkholes and forest fires, man-made disasters like bomb threats, and homeland security issues.
And the Red Cross is gearing up once again to open shelters. The capital area chapter of the American Red Cross has host shelters across the area on standby, not for locals, but for evacuees who may be fleeing from Hurricane Jeanne. The Red Cross says these preparations are now routine, but it desperately needs additional help.
If people out in the community want to volunteer, now's an opportunity. We've had our volunteers going long days, long weeks for the last 6 or 7 weeks. So this is an opportunity for new volunteers to come forward to be able to help.
And if you'd like to volunteer, please call the Red Cross at 878-6080.
More workers from Leon County are headed to aid hurricane victims. Today, 16 deputies from the Leon County Sheriff's Office headed west to aid victims of Hurricane Ivan in Pensacola. With them, they took several patrol cars as well as RVs and generators to face the long road ahead. They will be assisting Pensacola with several aspects of law enforcement as well as traffic enforcement.
It could have been us. You know, obviously the hurricane's 250 miles away. We could have been in the same situation. I went down to Osceola County a month ago to help them, seen the destruction down there, how them people are put out, and just felt need to go to Pensacola and help them out the same way.
The first wave of deputies will stay until next Friday, and 2 more waves of 16 will be headed out in the coming weeks. FSU coach Bobby Bowden will now be a permanent fixture on FSU's campus. This afternoon, a sculpture of Bobby Bowden was unveiled at the new Moore Athletic Center on the FSU campus. The 9-foot-tall sculpture was created by W. Stanley Proctor and commissioned by Tallahassee residents Pat and Pam Roberts. Bowden made it very clear, though, that this was by no means an end to his almost 3-decade-long career at FSU. The dedication ceremony comes on the eve of the FSU versus Clemson game. The city of Tallahassee celebrates a milestone, the anniversary of its oldest downtown generation.
And about to celebrate 180 years of faith, we'll take you around the bend to Trinity United Methodist. That's next on ABC News Channel 27.
The Florida State Seminoles battle the Clemson Tigers, and ABC News Channel 27 brings you the game. Then, stay with ABC News Channel 27 for a special post-game Seminole showdown. Preston Scott breaks down the action. See the keys to the game. Watch Florida State take on Clemson Saturday at 3:30, followed by the Seminole Showdown post-game report at 7 on ABC News Channel 27 on your side.
It's time to save at Thomas Motor Cars in Quincy. We're closing out our remaining 04 Pontiacs and GMCs. You're not going to find lower prices anywhere. Save up to $8,000 on GMC Sierra pickups, $8,000 on Yukons, and up to $15,000 on remaining GMC conversion vans. At Thomas Motor Cars, we've sold Pontiacs for less for over 35 years. Buy this new Grand Am for $215 a month, or save up to $8,000 on this Montana. It's our final 04 clearance at Thomas Motor Cars, Highway 90 East in Quincy.
Medical errors are the 6th leading cause of death in America. In Florida, up to 5,400 lives will be lost this year. In just 1 year, 97 objects left in patients, 46 surgeries on the wrong body part, almost $1 billion in medical errors. Amendment 3 gives special legal protection to even the worst medical providers, making the healthcare system even less accountable. Make healthcare safer and more affordable. Vote no on 3.
Buy 3 or more medium one-topping pizzas from Domino's, and you get them for just $5 each. Hey, who invited I'll pay you tomorrow guy?
Call Domino's now and buy 3 or more medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each. Get the door. It's the 555 deal from Domino's.
It's a brand new season of Millionaire.
All right, let's play Millionaire.
With a brand new lifeline.
I'd like to switch the question.
Which means more chances to win. It's the most exciting season of Millionaire yet.
Monday on ABC News Channel 27.
For many years, I tracked down the best stories around the Bend. Once again, I'm taking to the road and finding those gems, and here's one of them.
Sunday morning, Trinity United Methodist Church in downtown Tallahassee is celebrating its 180th anniversary as a congregation.
Back in 1824, circuit-riding Methodist preachers picked the infant community of Tallahassee as a likely spot for more than a couple conversions. For the past 9,329 Sundays, this congregation has not let down those founding fathers. Any way you look at it, in Florida, 180 years is a long, long time. While Trinity's sanctuary has changed through the years, the congregation has held true and reads as a who's who of Florida history.
Actually, our history pretty well follows the history of Florida and of Tallahassee. And it's just such a wonderful story.
Through Indian wars, wars of secession, and 48 different governors, Trinity United Methodist has been an outpost for a mighty fortress. That's certainly the way it started out.
And in 1824, a small group of people had enough courage to go outside of the city into the wilderness and dare to build Tallahassee's first church.
So that's where this is. This was once the wilderness, wasn't it?
It was.
In 1845, the Declaration of Statehood was made in the park in front of and the pulpit within Trinity United Methodist.
And after their outdoor ceremony, they came into the Methodist church and held an oratory session, a big sermon. And so we've been part of the capital city and the state of Florida from the very beginning.
And this coming Sunday in the park at Park and Duval in front of Trinity, the congregation is having a special celebration service at 9:45 in the morning. The entire community is invited to join in with Tallahassee's oldest congregation. And when we come back, we'll check in with Dave Preem for a look at tomorrow's forecast.
And a little later in your health, we'll tell you about taking bitter taste to a bitter end. But first, here's a look at what you'll see on Nightline.
Miss Nightline? Miss this.
And coming up on Nightline, millions of downloads, billions of dollars, and much of it is illegal.
University and Champion Chevrolet want to trade up your pickup. Any pickup, no matter what year it is. Drag in your old truck. Get $6,000, $8,000, even $10,000 when you trade up to a new Chevy truck, no matter what year, what mileage, or what condition it's in. Get up to $10,000 to trade up. 200 trucks, every model. Trade up your pickup. We want your pickup. Now through Monday at 2 big locations, University Chevrolet and Champion Chevrolet.
His greatest generation. They're our moms, dads, and grandparents, and they deserve our love and respect. That's why I fought to improve the quality of care in Florida's nursing homes and to crack down on those that don't improve. In Congress, I'll fight to protect Social Security, cut the cost of prescription drugs, and eliminate the partisan politics that stands in our way.
Bev Kilmer, People Before Politics, for a change.
I'm Bev Kilmer, and I approve this message.
Envision Credit Union has great low rates on used car loans. Want to see how low we can go? Lower. Lower. Is that the best you can do? Come on. Lower. Stop. There you have it. A great low used car rate for qualified Envision members. Want to join and get these great low rates? It's easy. For more information, call 942-9000 or log on to envisioncu.com today.
8 million drivers feel really good riding with Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You're watching ABC News Channel 27 at 11.
And Dave Preem joins us in for Nancy right now. And Dave, we just saw a wonderful story about a congregation about to celebrate its 180th anniversary. Will they have sunshine Sunday morning? Will it be a sunny day?
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, I am.
You're not supposed to do that.
I want you to give us a good forecast.
I think Sunday morning will be fine. I think the clouds increase during the day on Sunday as the approach of yet another hurricane heads this way. Yeah. So Hurricane Jeanne is going to spread some cloudiness, some showers across the area Sunday, maybe some thunderstorms, and then Monday.
Maybe all those Methodist prayers will keep her away from us.
Or maybe after the service, they can all go out, and remember we talked about this, blow towards the east.
That's right. We can all help that way.
Oh, we'll see what we can do. Let's get started, shall we? We'll look at the current numbers here on Hurricane Jeanne as of 5 p.m. Look at this, continuing to move towards the west at 12 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds right now at 100 miles per hour. So definitely a strong Category 2 hurricane. And throughout the evening hours, Jeanne continuing to get better organized. Some of the heaviest convection here on the southeast side of Jeanne eventually going to be wrapping around towards the center. And the minimum pressure recorded in the hurricane is 964 millibars. That's down 1 millibar since earlier this evening, which means Jeanne is intensifying very slowly. Now, as you can see, a very close examination here of Jeanne shows a very well-defined center. And, of course, when you can see the center this clearly on the satellite, it does mean that the hurricane is very strong and very well organized. And you can see Jeanne continuing to move off towards the west at about 12 miles per hour, slowly headed towards the Sunshine State. Now, the projected path does take Jeanne towards the west as she heads towards Florida, and then eventually hooking more towards the north, and eventually off towards the north and east. There's a ridge of high pressure out here. There's also a front across the middle part of the country that's going to help to steer Jeanne. And it's all about when she takes this northerly turn that tells us exactly what we're going to see when and if Jeanne does make landfall here in the state of Florida. But indeed, a very dangerous storm, and hurricane warnings are in effect now for the Bahamas and much of the Florida east coast, with tropical storm watch extending from the Keys up through Tampa and St. Pete. So definitely a storm that we don't want to mess around with, and definitely people are evacuating much of the east coast of Florida from Palm Beach County, places northward. Now, across the state, the satellite and radar picture showing clear skies from Orlando to Tampa, up north to Tallahassee along I-10. Things looking pretty nice. Just a few areas of showers here making their way onto the coast around Jacksonville, but then quickly dying out. They don't have a lot of energy with them as they encounter the land. And temperatures looking pretty nice as well this evening hour. 76 here in Tallahassee, 73 up in Valdosta, 74 Albany, and 75 for Waycross. Here at the Capital City Regional Airport, it's clear skies. It's a beautiful moonlit evening out there. 75 degrees is the temperature. Humidity is 71%. Northeast wind is what's helping to keep us cool this evening. Just a light breeze out there at about 3 miles per hour. The barometer slowly on the rise, indicating that tomorrow, not a problem. It's going to be a beautiful day. Now, today we hit a high of 88 degrees. This morning, a little chilly, 59, well off the average low, which should be around 67 when you wake up, and pretty close to that average high. And look at this cool record low of 50 degrees set back in 1990. Now, across the southeast, here's the high pressure in control across the southeast. All the clouds to our west continuing to stream up north, up and over this ridge of high pressure. And, of course, the spiraling outer bands here of Hurricane Jeanne starting to make their way here